The David Pakman Show at davidpakman.com.
Welcome to the show. David Pakman here. The whole crew is here. I am back from Kansas City at the Grassroots Radio Conference. I will talk about my experience sitting next to I believe the term is passenger of size on a flight home. Lewis, I know you're very curious to find out all the details. We'll also have a psychic in studio to address the controversy over Lewis believing in the paranormal and clairvoyance and telling of the future and all of those things, and in TV director Natan being pretty skeptical about it. We'll have a psychic in studio here to talk about it. She will do readings of the both of us, of all three of us, really. And it'll be incredible. I don't know what else to say, Lewis. And also a lot more to talk about. Rick Perry is now dancing around some of those tricky gotcha science-y questions because, as we know, science has a particularly liberal bias, Lewis, as do facts and reality. Mm-hmm. And he was asked by a kid about evolution. Now, the one thing I find annoying about this audio and video I'm going to play for you is that the kid's mom or someone, the kid seems to have a handler who's telling him the questions to ask in his ear, but you can hear her on the video also, so it kind of loses the effect. However, what really matters here are Rick Perry's answers, which are absolutely ridiculous. I'll just play this for you. You tell me what you make of it. It is scary. I mean, we are talking about a candidate in Rick Perry who rivals or exceeds, in some ways, the level of lunacy that we are seeing in Michelle Bachmann. Don't you think, Lewis?
Yeah, I guess they're on par with each other.
In some ways.
Yeah.
In some ways, they're on different playing fields. Let's take a listen here. This is incredible.
He's got a question for you.
Okay.
Okay, I got it. Yeah, no problem.
How old do I think the Earth is? You know what? I don't have any idea. I know it's pretty old. So it goes back a long, long way. So I'm not sure anybody actually knows completely and absolutely.
Okay, so I'm going to pause it in case you can't tell what's going on. The first question to Rick Perry from the kid was, how old do you think the Earth is? The answer from Rick Perry is that he doesn't know. And then while he's getting the answer out to the kid, the woman leans in and whispers in the kid's ear, ask about evolution. Okay, so that's the next thing we're going to get to.
How long the Earth is. I hear your mom was asking about evolution, and it's a theory that is out there, and it's got some gaps in it. But in Texas, we teach both creationism and evolution in our public schools.
Ask him why he doesn't believe in science.
Because I figure you're smart enough to figure out what you
So then the follow-up question from the mom is, ask him why he doesn't believe in science. Now, we're getting now off to a different area, but the answer about evolution was, well, it's a theory that's out there, and it has some gaps. It has some gaps, and in Texas, we teach creationism and evolution.
Because creationism has no gaps.
No, of course not. Mm-hmm. It explains everything.
Right.
It explains everything. This is a two-sided analysis we have to do. Number one, the idea that evolution is out there as a theory. It's just out there. It's floating around, Lewis, the same way that creationism is obviously ridiculous, okay? If you're listening to me say this and you don't agree with what I'm saying, I'm not going to be able to present any evidence that will convince you otherwise because you've already clearly set your mind. Do you agree with that, Lewis? It's not worth going into now, creationism and evolution.
Right.
Okay. The second part, though, is that apparently Rick Perry has no idea what he's talking about when he says in Texas we teach creationism and we teach evolution. Or other people don't know what they're talking about. And here's what I mean, Lewis. Kathy Miller, who's president of the Texas Freedom Network, said, no, it's not true that we teach creationism and evolution in Texas. Texas science standards do not call for teaching creationism in the classroom. Now, David Bradley, who's a social conservative member of the State Board of Education, said he hadn't heard Rick Perry's comments, but when he was asked about teaching creationism alongside evolution, he said that it is not specifically taught alongside evolution. In other words,
what he means is it's not part of the curriculum, but teachers throw it in there anyway.
So, well, what he's saying is there's nothing that prevents teachers from discussing creationism or from anybody bringing it up. He says it's not specifically in the curriculum, but people are encouraged in the classroom to evaluate and explore all theories. Mm-hmm. Okay, so this is a problem not only because Rick Perry seems to just know absolutely nothing. He says it's a theory that's out there that the actions of humans on Earth affect climate change. It's a theory that's out there. Not 99% of scientists agree, but it's a theory that's out there. The same way that he's saying it about evolution. Evolution's just a theory that's out there. And we should evaluate it the same way that we evaluate creationism, as if they are somehow on the same level. I'm concerned by this. And you know what? The children of Texas and the parents of those children should be concerned because, as we see, Texas has got some serious education problems.
Well, the people elected this guy, Dave.
Okay, but so what? So now they need to, all of the kids who can't vote need to suffer because of Rick Perry, because adults elected Rick Perry? Hey, maybe adults don't know what they're doing. Certainly seems that way.
I think we're onto something.